Do you want to know the benefits of frugal living? Are you struggling to find your why when it comes to frugal living? In this video, I'm going to show you 3 ways that frugal living benefits you. Welcome to Frugal Over 50. I'm Amy, and I'm here to give you tips and tools for frugal living, all tested by me. If you're new here, I am so delighted that you have joined. I hope that you will subscribe, click the notification bell so you get notified first of new videos, and give this video a like if you like this kind of content. All right, let's get right to it. In order to really understand the benefits of frugal living, it would be really helpful to have a clear and concise definition of frugal living. And my favorite one comes from a woman named Bola Sokunbi of Clever Girl Finance. And she said, frugal living is the act of being very intentional with your spending. And I have one thing that I have added in my personal test of this definition, and that is that part of frugal living is being honest about your finances, understanding exactly how much you have, exactly how much you owe, and knowing exactly what your financial situation is at any given time, for me, is a huge part of frugal living. It's part of that act of being very intentional with your spending. The first benefit of frugal living is that it makes you flexible. Now here I don't mean exercise flexible, although that would be great, but frugal living gives you the flexibility to respond to changing circumstances in your life, in your home, in your job, in your family, in your world. When you live frugally, it means that you know exactly how much you have, exactly how much you owe, and exactly what your spending priorities are. And that means that you can be flexible because you know your situation and you know how to adapt. Just inherently, from knowing where you are and knowing what your priorities are, you can change from one moment to the next, even if it's hard, and we've recently been through some hard. But if you live frugally, then you can be flexible. Here's how I've tested this. I have, for decades, taught voice lessons in my home studio, right here in this very room where I'm recording this video. Well, that hasn't been possible for a while, and in fact, singing is one of the things that is recommended not to be done in public for quite some time. Because I understood my finances, because I understood how much I was earning, because I understood how much I owe, because I understood exactly what's going on with my financial situation, I was able to do 2 things to be flexible. 1, I was able to switch to video chat lessons, which has been surprisingly effective. And 2, I was able to lower my price so that my students would stick around. Knowing exactly what my financial situation is and understanding what my financial priorities are and being frugal with my spending meant that I could be flexible in this situation where I really needed to still bring in income, but I had to figure out a whole different way of doing it. Benefit number 2 of frugal living is it makes you focused. When you are very intentional about how you are spending your money, when you are very honest about your financial situation, it gives you a laser focus on exactly what your priorities are and exactly what you need to do with your time, your money, and your life. And that focus leads to even greater frugality and even more frugal living wins. When you know exactly what your first priority is, exactly what your second priority is, exactly what your third priority is, and on down the line, then your laser focus will carry you forward in frugal living, and it's the kind of frugal living that has the possibility of bringing abundance, even in uncertain times. I put this focus to the test recently as the stock market has been going up and down, and my children's college fund is in the stock market largely, and I decided that my laser focus meant that I knew what my financial situation was and meant that I need to, first of all, not be looking at those accounts every day, and second of all, trust and rely that over time, that investment will continue to grow. And sure enough, it's still pretty unstable and we still don't know what's going to happen. But that priority on frugality, on frugal living, means that I feel confident that I have the skills to help my children get through college. They have the skills to help themselves get through college. And whatever happens with the stock market, we know that the priority is getting to college. And so we don't have to worry so much about what's going on with the stock market. Do we still worry? Of course. Do you still worry? Of course. But focus helps us sleep at night. The third benefit is my very favorite. Frugal living makes you free. When you are flexible, when you are focused, and remember, when you understand that you're being intentional about your spending and honest about your financial situation, all of these things come together to give you such freedom in life. When you know where you are, when you know what your priorities are, and when you know where you are headed, it gives you freedom to plan, to dream, to create, to shape your life. And even restrictions in finance can bring creativity. Here's how I've tested this. I started this channel just over a year ago, and it's been so much fun. And I've had so much fun looking at gear that people who make YouTube videos like to buy. If you're not into making YouTube videos, you may not know that there's a whole subculture of people who look at and buy gear. And it's so exciting and so expensive. And my priorities told me that I didn't need to spend any money right at first. You know what I did? I saved up my fun money for an entire year so that I could get a certain special lens that I could put on my camera so you guys can see me a little bit more clearly. And it took me a year of saving up, and it felt focused, it felt flexible, and I gotta tell you, it felt so free. Every month I added just a couple more dollars of my fun money to my lens account. And when I got it, it felt better than Christmas, and I'm so happy, and I can use this lens for years and years in all sorts of ways, and all it took was that feeling of freedom that comes from being intentional about the act of spending, being honest about where I am financially, being flexible, being focused. Bam, there's the freedom. Now, if you want to learn more about all of these subjects related to frugal living, I hope that you will subscribe right now. Click that notification bell so you'll get notified first of new videos, and give this one a like. And then what I want you to do is go over to my playlist that's called Frugal Adventures. I'll link it up above and I'll link it down below so that you can get to it. And you can see my journey over the last year to become more frugal, to become more flexible, to become more focused, and to become more free. There's an old saying, the truth will set you free. And in this case, knowing the truth about your finances, being flexible, being focused, it will indeed set you free. I am so glad that you are joining me on this journey. Don't forget, subscribe and come back next time. I can't wait to see you. Bye-bye.